Well, good to have you with us. A big weekend politically, especially for the ANC. President Ramaphosa using his closing remarks of the governing party's NEC Lekgotla to condemn attacks on the Constitution and the judiciary. This after ANC NEC member and Tourism Minister Lindiwe Sisulu criticised African judges and the Constitution. The President going further, though, also lamenting what he calls the decay and the degradation of the ANC. Well, let's get the thoughts now of Professor Barry Hanyane joining us this morning. Prof, good to have you with us this morning. As a political analyst, there's a lot to look forward to this year as far as ANC politics are concerned. What interested, I think, most people over this past weekend, lamenting the comments about judges and the Constitution, but unless I'm mistaken, Prof, not going as far as to mention the name Lindiwe Sisulu.
Gareth, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. Look, it's open sesame in relation to the contestations in the ANC now, depending on which side you're looking at. Perhaps the Sisulu name is in the hat already. You still have to hear the formalization of her participation going forward. But yes, we can count on that as well. It seems to be a heated space when it comes to the deputy president going forward. But at the same time, controversy is somewhat characterizing this contestation after Sisulu wrote that open piece. What is interesting is that she tried to be very strategic about it and to suggest strongly that this is nothing short of a personal opinion, and yet she wears so many hats at the same time, and that's where the difficulty comes in.
Are politicians able to have personal opinions, or we understand the whole debate around freedom of expression? I'm sure you've been following that as well, Prof. Everyone's entitled to freedom of expression, but some people hold a higher status in society than others. It's a tricky situation.
Gareth, it's not that tricky. We're all our political animals in our own skin. First and foremost, human beings. We're citizens of a country. We are consumers. We are clients elsewhere. So we are not immune from forming any kind of an opinion about a particular critical matter. So much the same here. It just becomes a tad demanding when you are a leader of society, where you need to demonstrate restraint in some instances, application of statesman-like skills, acumen, which you need to traverse very carefully. And I think this is what is lacking in this instance, is that you don't have that sense of diplomacy, that sense of statesman-like, that says as much as we come from a difficult past and dealing with difficult issues going forward, as politicians in the 21st century, we can carry ourselves in a manner that reflects good about our society.
Let me, as a final question to you, let me put our viewer question to you, Prof, that we're talking about this morning. We're asking, do you believe the ANC has the ability to self-correct? Now, that is very different. I'm sure you'll agree on having the willingness to self-correct. Do you have the belief that the ANC can self-correct off the words decay and degeneration? Lots of comments coming through saying the ANC are always trying to stop the decay and degeneration. Why should we believe them this time round?
I think that the taste is in the pudding here. ANC has been married to instances of rhetoric for far too long. Much the same over this weekend. Promises are being made. For instance, the establishment of the committee that will look after the issues on state capture, involving Joel Mechitenze, Lamula, and others. At the same time, the Integrity Commission is reeling with inefficiencies. To the House, much the same. Staff is not catered for quite well. So where will this capacity come from? Commitment and the will to make sure that indeed renewal becomes the order of the day in the party. It will be difficult going forward. And let me echo the sentiment of those who believe strongly that it's a tad perhaps too late for the ANC to make such a bold call for renewal at the time when they had all the time in the world to correct.
Prof, I'm afraid I don't have all the time in the world, but I'm dying to ask you this question as briefly as you can. I hope I'm not being unfair. You said the taste in the pudding. Some could argue the taste in the pudding was the last results in the latest elections.
Most probably, and the fear lingers on come 2024. Are they going to do well? Indications are quite strong already that this might be perhaps the last hurrah for the ANC. We don't see them coming back and claw back the lost ground that they enjoyed post-1994.
Well, I appreciate your time, as always. Professor Barry Hanyane joining us this morning, political analyst. Always good to have you with us, Prof, unpacking the ANC's weekend reaction and the Lekgotla over the weekend. Going to be such an interesting year.
Absolutely. I think it was